So I had a realization today. I've been divorced for 3.5 years.
Are you happy now?
This is how I left my husband after only 1 year of marriage.
I think only men should be homeless. I don't think I don't think women should be allowed to be homeless.
This is where the conversation was going to.
Because I honestly think that men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men.
Are you stupid?
The only reason that men get mad at me when I tell women that they're single before they're married is because in today's society, men are so used to getting wife benefits from girlfriends.
Apparently men are the problem to everything. This woman divorced her husband and come to find out, life is extremely hard without him. As she struggles to find a new man, she realizes that she shouldn't have divorced her husband. The grass isn't greener on the other side after all.
This is how I left my husband after only 1 year of marriage. We were together on and off for about 6 years before we got married. Big red flag, if you are so up and down with someone on and off, do not marry them. During our first year married, he was deployed the entire time while I was home with the baby. And when they say that women mentally check out before actually leaving a man, that's very, very true, and that's what happened in our case. I was very unhappy the whole time. I really tried to be a good wife and do the best I can to kind of be there to support him and in every way. I always felt very unappreciated. I just felt like I was invisible to him in a way. We fought all the time to the point where I almost was just not looking forward to him coming home. I was having really bad anxiety at night, just imagining.
So far from my understanding, she's seen all the signs and ignored them. And she's still decided to continue the marriage just to divorce him later. Moving on.
Last story today. Women ruin everything. Women ruin everything. Really, we've ruined the workforce. We even ruined women's sports by whining and complaining about her pay. And now we're ruining gyms. Yes, ruining gyms. There was a woman that decided to make a skit. How women are just ruining the gym. Let's pull it up.
Hi guys, this is a tutorial on how to make a guy look like a creep at the gym. First, I like to set up the barbell in the free weight area directly in front of my victim wearing tiny shorts. Then I start doing RDLs for him to see that pussy fat and grab his attention. I'll then stop my workout, turn around and confront him about perving on me, making sure I'm getting all of this on camera. Next, I'll green screen my video and talk about how I feel violated and then post it on my social media so I receive comments from other girls saying go sis. See you next time.
And so she's making fun of this, but she's right.
This is actually a real issue even today. No wonder why men don't approach women in gyms anymore.
The only reason that men get mad at me when I tell women that they're single before they're married is because in today's society, men are so used to getting wife benefits from girlfriends.
What the hell are you talking about?
They are. Let's just keep it real. And when I'm telling women to be single and act single before you get married, they feel threatened by that. Because if I'm telling women to act single, they're not getting wifely duties out of women anymore before they get married.
This has got to be one of the worst advice I've heard from one of these modern women. She said, act single until you're married. How would he know to marry her in the girlfriend stage if she's acting single? That man would have to be crazy to put a ring on that woman's finger while she's acting single while they're dating. If she's acting single, she does not need to be with you. This next clip will disgust you. What these women said in this video is upsetting. By the way, subscribe. It really helps.
Only men should be homeless. I don't think I don't think women should be allowed to be homeless.
This is where the conversation was going to.
Because I honestly think that men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men. Because that's what made men manly in the past, was having to build houses and stuff. So if we just made men be homeless for a year, I think it would fix a lot of problems.
That would be
society.
so good, especially because we don't force men to do military anymore like they used to. They make them homeless for a year. Let's see how they fucking
make them just figure it out. But make them homeless in a country where they don't know the language, and that way they really have to go through something, and then maybe they can
be appreciative
and just stop being pussies.
Yeah, America's really full of pussies.
And this whole time, I was led to believe that toxic masculinity was the problem. She need to watch Survivor and see what happens when the women were left alone on her island. The American education system seriously needs to be looked at. These crazy people need to be locked up. Seriously, they're dangerous. As long as I'm single, I'll never be homeless. Being single keeps money in the bank. These are women who are not married. These are women without fathers. These are women who are miserable. The fact that they can say such a thing in a world that men have built is outrageous to me. Imagine a man saying something like this. Imagine the hate and backlash he would receive. All these women want to do is contribute to the suffering of men.
I like my men out of shape. If I see that you got too many muscles, I'm gonna feel like you trying to go to the gym to replace something downstairs that's not growing.
What the hell are you talking about?
I done seen it too many times. These men be trying to make up for what they ain't got downstairs at that gym. So if I see you doing too much at the gym, I'm gonna feel like you trying to replace that. I'm gonna feel like you ain't got nothing going on downstairs.
There's no way she believes that if a man has too much muscles, he's trying to make up for what he lacks downstairs. In some cases, that might be true for a man that's insecure about his downstairs, but most men really just want to look good. Some men honestly just take it too far. They have muscles building up on top of each other.
All of my friends who prioritized having kids in their 20s are all now single moms at 40 and divorced.
Are you happy now?
I got so many of these comments on my last video, so I'm going to touch on it now. Disregarding exceptional reasons such as real abuse, the fact is 80% of women are the ones ending marriages, 90% if they have a degree.
I agree.
Now, I've known about this statistic way before Jordan Peterson started popping off, and unfortunately it was due to my own research because I saw how many of my female friends were leaving their husbands. I'm very tired of this victim mentality that has manifested within the female realm. It is hard for me to have empathy for single divorced moms when 90% of the time they are at fault for it. It is completely self-inflicted. I'm also coming from a place of self-critique because, believe it or not, just like every woman in America, I have succumbed to some of those thoughts. But we listen to social media and mass media and we tell ourselves that there's someone else there that's going to treat us even better, and we neglect the other party, which is our husbands, and then all the children that are involved as well. Oh, but let's not forget the vows you took. You cannot discredit my theory of prioritizing a family first and then working on a career, all because you have women that fall in that 90% category that left their husbands. Now just wait for this comment section to blow up on all the women that tell me they are the exception, that 90% are leaving because the men are so terrible.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. One thing I realized when these women leave is that they always try to come back. Life is the best teacher after all.
Part of the woman.
Women cheat more than men?
Far more.
Come on.
Far, far more.
Come on.
Far from.
Why do you think women cheat more than men?
Because they're in denial about the infidelity. When they cheat, they don't even label it as that. If a woman starts cheating,
what do they label it as?
They label it as my husband's no longer satisfying me. They won't even say I'm cheating. They'll say my husband isn't satisfied. They find a way to redirect and shift the terminology so that they are void of guilt.
That's because they know what they're doing is wrong. They're just too embarrassed to say it out loud. The guilt would kill them. Now let's look at this woman who regret divorcing her husband. Sit back and relax.
So I had a realization today. I've been divorced for 3.5 years, and I went through 1.5 years of counseling after my marriage broke up, and I've dated on and off in that 3.5 years. I don't have any kids, so it was a clean break in my divorce. I'm a church worker. I'm a strong Christian, and I try to live by Christian values when dating. I'm also a woman of the real world and understand, when dating, what it's like to date out in the real world. And it is so hard. It is so hard to find someone who is looking for someone of value, who's not wanting to sleep with someone right away, and who's not wanting to, change their morals because they are a single woman.
but that someone was already in your life. You were just too blind to notice that. This is what regret looks like. This is the results of someone who destroyed her marriage looks like. Let's keep going.
You know, I just can't understand why it's hard out here for us good women. I don't understand. I'm looking for a good man. It's not like I'm out here, you know, looking to change people or anything like that. It's, you know, I've done the work on myself. Last year I went through a huge weight loss journey, and a guy that I dated last month, I went out with him twice, and both times he was like, you don't look like your photos. Your photos look like you were a lot thinner than what you were in person. Like, what? Are we doing this? Are we really doing that? I don't know why this is hard. I went out for the girlfriend tonight, and we were talking about like, okay, well, what is it that I need to work on? Because obviously there's something wrong with me because I'm not able to figure out how to be in a healthy, good relationship. And she was like, Emily, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand why you think it's you. Like, why you always have to change you. And I'm like, I'm the common denominator, right? Like, I'm the one who's not been able to date someone and be in a relationship. And she's like, what if it's not the right time?
Her friend is absolutely right. It's not the right time because her time has passed.
Time's up.
She was already with a good man. She also mentioned she was a good woman. Does she even know what a good woman is? Last time I checked, marriage is about how much you can take, how much you can sacrifice.
And I was like, but why would God wait this long? I'm 38. It's not like this has been an easy journey for me of being pregnant. I had 3 miscarriages in my first marriage. You know, my time clock is ticking. I've been in youth ministry for 16 years working with teenagers. I'd love to be a mom. Why is this hard? She's like, what if it's not you? What if it's just not the right time? And, that's really hard to accept because I'd like to fix something. I'm a fixer. If I can fix it. Do I need to lose some more weight? Do I need to be on a different dating app? Do I need to change something about me? And, I hate that answer that maybe it's not the right time, but maybe it's not the right time. That's really hard to kind of accept. It's really hard. And where are all the good men? Why aren't you looking for good women who are ready to be in a relationship and not sleep around? What are you doing? Where are you? The journey is hard.